Hey guys, coming at you again with another investment video. So my last one was basically just a rejection of the thesis that holding VU or holding a well-diversified portfolio, whatever you want it to be, would not perform better than holding a leveraged portfolio. Now look at this, there's an update on Testfolio. I'll click that. Okay, blah blah blah. Non-daily. Okay, cool. Um, So I wanted to take a look at my account. Now there's a lot going on here. This is my brokerage account. Now you'll see I'm not coming in with this here with a crazy amount of money. It's a four-figure portfolio, soon to be five. But there's a lot of holdings in here, a lot of things going on. But these are the things I want you to actually look at. There's three holdings that I want you to look at for real. And I'll get to why there's all these holdings. What's going on? Why do I have so much shit? If I have one investment thesis, why do I have so much shit? I'll just be straight up with you guys. This part, the call options, that's just gambling. I'm gambling, and I'm not going to pretend that it's any other way. So this is not part of my investment thesis. This is a gamble, a bet I am taking. Speculation is maybe a more kind way of describing it, but I'm betting on silver. I think silver is going to do well. What I'm doing is I'm buying a long dated 50 call option on SLV, and I'm selling calls against it for option premium. And I've been using the option premium to start my investment journey on the triple leverage. So I'm using a lot of leverage, obviously. I'm using options plus triple leveraged SPY, which is UPRO. But you'll see a couple other of investments in here in VTI, VXUS, TQQQ. So I started the TQQQ journey a while back. Well, not a while, probably a year back. Um, Liberation Day was kind of the big one for me. And Liberation Day was the last time um, I made big purchases of anything other than TQQQ. So on Liberation Day, I bought a bunch of VT, or VTI rather, and a bunch of VXUS. Now, I still think these are great holdings, but I'm planning to sell them um, once I've owned them for a year. So the reason I haven't sold them yet, I've got about 3 grand here in VTI, and in VXUS, I have about a grand. So I have about 4 grand that I'm going to sell out of and invest. I'm going to invest in BND, UPRO, and GLD. Now I'm waiting till I've held it for a year for tax purposes. So I've recently entered a bit of a higher tax bracket. So I wish to pay the long-term capital gains instead of the short-term. So I haven't gained a ton per se. Like if you look at my VTI, I've gained $400 or 460 there, and in VXUS I've gained about 100 something or 250. Okay, shit. Go me. We have really performed really well with VXUS because of how choppy the American markets have been. But so it's $700 of gains, but I do want to sell it after the year holdings. That's around Liberation Day. That's going to be April-ish, probably like mid to late April is when I'm going to sell that. And then I'm going to use it to buy UPRO, BND, and GLD. Now, same thing with TQQQ. The problem is I've actually been buying that incrementally over many, many, many months. I think my last buy was in February or January, and we're in March right now. Um, I will sell out of this same situation. The reason I was in TQQQ because I wanted to chase higher gains, but after looking at what my investment thesis is, I don't think there's any reason to hold TQQQ over UPRO. So my plan is to sell that and invest in UPRO, which is triple leverage SPY, gold, and bonds. Now you'll notice super low amounts of money in these. So here, UPRO. What's my total account on here? $25. I've lost $1. and 10. So I have 20. I've invested $27 into this, right? Now, the reason for that is like I said, I've been using the option premium from this calendar spread from this poor man's covered call, and I've been dumping it into GLD, UPRO, and BND. But so you get like $10 here, $20 here, whatever. Every time I get $10 of cash, I put it into this. So I put um or sorry, $5 of cash. Anytime I do $5 of cash, at least I put it into that. So I put $3 into UPRO, $1 into BND, $1 into gold. My plan is to rebalance quarterly now. I started this in March, so I'm not going to rebalance on April 1st. I'm going to wait until um, July 1st for my first rebalance. But that's my plan. So I'm using the money I make from this bet to fund my triple level strategy. I'm also using Robinhood credit card points. I'm also using $1,000 of free margin. They give you free margin with Robinhood Gold, which I have because of my retirement account. So that's why I have a negative balance. First $1,000 is interest free, so it's free money. Now, this is what I'll say. So like I said, I'm gonna dump all this as soon as it's tax advantageous. So we're gonna clean this up. We're gonna get rid of VTI and VXUS in a couple of months, a month or two, and then TQQQ is gonna be a pretty long time. I mean, does it say my last buy on TQQQ? Pretty long time. Yeah, March 3rd. I was buying it up until this month. Now, the other thing I use as well is I have the Robinhood Gold credit card. Every time I spend credit card, or I spend on my credit card, they give me 3% cash back, and the cash back goes into this account. So this account, believe it or not, is very few deposits. I've probably deposited, I don't know. It'll probably well, this will just tell me my gains. No, yeah, it doesn't tell me. Okay, that's fine. I've probably deposited like 5 grand into here, and it's worth 9 grand. Another 2 grand is just credit card points, straight up, and then the rest is gains. Um, but you can see where I put a lot of my money in Liberation Day, and this is where I really tried out triple leverage strategies. Was I started looking into it around here, and you can see this bump. But this is where obviously I tanked when the market crashed, but then I went double down. I started putting actual money into it. I put, instead of just cash I was getting from credit card points, I put in like 2 grand or whatever. Wow, look at that fucking drop and jump. Anyway, the thing with these leverage products and that I've really been learning is that you just kind of have to hold. You have to be okay with nonsense happening now. And this is a brokerage account. This is not what I'm doing in my retirement account. And here's my retirement account. I've owned this since 2023, end of 2023. Um, and this is more consistent investing, and it's all equities on the retirement side. And I'll have to make another video about, you know, why I believe in these three specifically. But I just wanted to go over this is what I'm looking at. This is kind of the plan is to have TQQ, UPRO, GLD, and I'm gonna go 60, 20, 20. BND, UPRO, GLD. 20, 20, 60. Okay, that's the plan. Rebalancing quarterly, taking gains and putting them into the underperformers, and just rebalancing and enjoying the money. And originally, when I first thought about this, I was going to do just UPRO and BND. Or actually, I was going to use ZROZ. And I'll do another video about ZROZ. But in fact, let's just go over that really quickly. So here, if I do $10,000 and I go back, I don't know, 30 years, right? Or 30 years with no cash flow, right? You'll notice that ZROZ, So ZROZ is a long-term American Treasury um, bond, basically. It's like 20-year plus treasuries. Now, a lot of people online said that you should use ZROZ. When I was researching this, ZROZ, a lot of people said online, and you'll see, look at this. Look at how much ZROZ outperformed by ton, really. Here, I bet if I put cash as well. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. If I do cash, if I do 100% cash, I wouldn't even be surprised if cash outperforms. Does cash outperform? No, it doesn't outperform. But anyway, you'll see ZROZ outperforms heavily, but it's so volatile. I mean, the volatility is crazy on this. It really got crushed during the 2022 years, and a lot of people said a similar product was TLT. People use a strategy called HFEA. Let me just rename that. And you'll see that these other bonds, these American bonds, do outperform. But BND just seems so much more solid. I mean, the whole point of the bond part of your portfolio, right, is to be solid, right? It's to be solid. You want it to succeed. You want it to just be like safe money. You're not looking to like win with gold. I mean, with bonds. So that's kind of my mentality. And here, I think it's actually best illustrated with gold. Now, obviously, gold's had a crazy run up here. I'm not really expecting gold to be like this from now on, but I'm starting to notice it's pretty uncorrelated from bonds. Like you could see when bond had its crash, 2022, gold actually went up, right? When gold went down, bonds went up. So it's kind of uncorrelated to money. Because at the end of the day, when you do these leverage strategies, you really need something uncorrelated to one another because God forbid you run into a 2022 situation where in 2022 equities fell like crazy and bonds fell like crazy. I do not want to run into a situation like that, so I need another diversifier. Now, some people like managed futures is the one that I see a lot of people talk about. Commodities and managed futures. Just to be honest with you guys, it's not something I understand. I truly don't. I really don't know enough about futures. I really don't know anything about the futures market. Maybe it is a better diversifier, but gold seems like a safer diversifier to me. It's 1 ounce of gold's always going to be worth 1 ounce of gold, right? What did I just click? Oh, it's like a zoom in function. Anyway, gold's always going to be worth gold, and bonds are always going to be like kind of like holding cash. So to me, I feel like this takes away some of the risk. So if there's a huge run up in UPRO, I'll take some winnings and I'll just put it every quarter. I'll put it into these kind of slow and boring investments like bonds and gold. Like I said, gold right now, this is a weird time for gold. Historically, gold isn't like this, right? Gold isn't usually having a crazy run up like this. Is an insane run up. I'm expecting it to go back to normal, and at some point, um, but it's. I mean, look at it. It's super uncorrelated to the bonds. Super uncorrelated, and it actually outperformed stocks this year. It might have even outperformed triple leverage stocks holding gold. But yeah, and that's part of why the quarterly reinvestment is so good because if you have these weird years, because this isn't gonna last, if gold has a weird year like this, you take some of the gold monies you put into equities or bonds or vice versa. Hey, if equities get trashed, this is cool. You can zoom right in. If equities get trashed, you sell the bonds and you buy more equities. It all evens out. So it's just my thesis, and this is what I'm doing, and we're gonna track it. We're gonna see how it does. I mean, year to date, I'm down. Oh, I'm up. Actually, that's strange. These last couple weeks have been brutal because um there's so much volatility in my portfolio because of the options. So this isn't a great shower of what's happening, and the options will be done. Also, same thing with the options. Once the options are done, once I'm satisfied with what I've done with the options, and for me, I'm not selling this until I get like 100% return, honestly. In the meantime, I'm just taking premium from this. But if the call runs up and I get 100% return, I'll sell it. If not, I'll hold it to expiration and let it run out worthless or above the. Well, right now it's not worthless. It's worth if it expires. I paid 26 for it. I'd get 22, so I'd be down $400. Now I've made about $400. I'm selling premium, so if it held flat for the remainder of the time I owned it, whatever. But that's okay. I'm not really here to talk about selling these options. This is literally just gambling. This is not an investment thesis, the option part. That's why it's also not the main portfolio, right? This is it's a pretty large portion of my portfolio. It's 20%, 25% actually, closer to. Maybe even 30%. It's actually pretty big. It'll tell me, won't it? Hold on. It'll actually say. Uh, it's a pretty. Usually, am I stupid? Hold on. This one maybe? Here we go. Maybe not. I thought it would tell me how much is options and how much is. It just is equity. Interesting. I thought it would tell me what part is option. Oh, here we go. VXUS, VTI. Wait, it doesn't tell me. Am I stupid? Am I going crazy? I don't know. Strange. There's not one for the options. That's weird. Huh. Whatever. Moral of the story is that but see, this only adds up to like 6,000, so it's just like missing a large. I don't know. I don't. I really don't know. But anyway, it's like 30% of my portfolio. I'm using the money and investing it in other ways. The money I gain from this strategy, I'm using it and putting it into other stuff because I don't really want to be invested in these options too long. It's just speculation. But we'll leave it at that. I'm having fun showing you this. As I get further into it, we'll see what the results look like.